Look at this, 3 designer wigs. Tiffany squeals, holding up the luxurious hair pieces to the afternoon sun. My new man knows exactly how to treat a woman, not like some people I know. The delivery rider standing before her shifts uncomfortably, his helmet still on, company uniform dusty from the day's routes. He says nothing as she continues her tirade. You know what kills me, Derek? Tiffany's voice drips with contempt. Every single day, you pull up on that pathetic bike of yours, delivering gifts from real men to their women. And here you are, my own boyfriend, playing delivery boy to MY packages from someone who actually has money. Derek's voice is quiet, almost resigned. Tiffany, please, can you just sign for the package so I can go? Sign, she laughs, a sharp, cutting sound. Oh, I'll sign, but first, you need to understand something. Come here, bend down so I can use your back as a table. Tiffany! What, you don't want to be useful for once in your miserable life? Fine, stand there looking stupid like you always do. Her friend Jessica watches from the doorway, arms crossed, her expression growing more troubled by the second. She's witnessed these scenes before, but today feels different. Today feels cruel in a way that makes her stomach turn. Tiffany examines each wig with exaggerated delight, running her fingers through the silky strands. You see this quality? This is what happens when a woman knows her worth, when she stops settling for men who think love and empty promises can pay bills. I never said I had much, Derek finally speaks up, his voice carrying a hurt that cuts through the hot afternoon air. But I told you things would get better. Rome wasn't built in a day, Tiffany. Everything I'm doing for us. The words hang in the air for a moment before Tiffany erupts. Rome, she steps closer, her face twisted with rage. Do I look like Rome to you? Do I look like a city that needs building? I'm asking you a question, Derek. Do I look like some construction project? That's not what I meant. Your boys are out there making money, buying their girlfriends' cars, taking them on trips, and you're here talking to me about Rome and patience and building futures. I don't want to build with anyone. Her voice reaches a pitch that makes Jessica wince. I want to enter into money. I want the finished product, not some foundation you're still trying to pour. Derek's shoulders slump. So 3 years means nothing to you. 3 years of what exactly? 3 years of watching you struggle? 3 years of listening to your big plans that never happen? 3 years of eating at Applebee's while my friends post pictures from Cancun? Tiffany's eyes flash with something dark, something final. I've found someone better, Derek. Someone who doesn't need 3 years or 30 years to show a woman he cares. This man I met online has done more for me in 2 weeks than you've done in 3 years. You've never even met him, Derek says softly. And look at what he's already given me. You think meeting him will make this worse? If anything, it'll get better. And you know the best part? She steps closer, her smile cruel. You're going to keep delivering his gifts to me. I'm going to make sure of it. Every package he sends, I want to see your face when you hand it to me. I want you to see what a real man does for his woman. Tiffany, that's enough. Jessica finally interjects from the doorway. This is too much. Stay out of this, Jess. Derek and I are having a conversation about his future, or lack of one. Tiffany turns back to the delivery rider. You can go now. I'm sure you have more packages to deliver, more evidence of your failure to witness. Derek stands there for a long moment, and even through the helmet's visor, the pain is visible. Finally, he turns and walks to his bike, the sound of Tiffany's laughter following him down the path. Wait, you forgot something, she calls out. You forgot to watch me be happy. Come back, let me show you what joy looks like. But Derek is already gone, the sound of his bike engine fading into the distance. Jessica shakes her head. You're wrong for this, Tiff. That man loves you. Love doesn't pay my bills, Jess. Love doesn't buy me these. She holds up the wigs again. This is what I need. This is what I deserve. You deserve someone who treats you like a human being, not a transaction. Please, Tiffany waves her hand dismissively. You sound just like him. All this talk about character and values and building together. I'm done building. I'm done waiting. I'm ready to live. The next few days pass in a blur of anticipation for Tiffany. Her mysterious benefactor continues to send messages, each one more charming than the last. They talk for hours on the phone, his deep voice promising her the world. He tells her about his businesses, his investments, his properties across 3 states. He describes the life they'll have together once they finally meet. "Soon, baby girl," he tells her one evening. "Very soon I'll reveal myself to you, but first I have another surprise coming your way." "Another one? Babe, you're spoiling me too much." "A woman like you deserves to be spoiled. You deserve everything you've been dreaming of. No more waiting, no more struggling, no more small thinking." His words are exactly what she wants to hear, validating every choice she's made, every bridge she's burned. When Derek appears at her door again 3 days later, Tiffany practically dances to greet him. "Back so soon," she doesn't hide her glee. "Let me guess, another package from my king." Derek's voice is flat, emotionless. "Yes, you need to sign for it." Of course. What is it this time? Jewelry? Shoes? Oh God, please let it be that Chanel bag I mentioned." Jessica is visiting again, and she stands back, watching the scene with growing unease. Something about Derek's demeanor today is different. He seems almost calm, too calm. Tiffany tears open the package, and her scream of joy nearly shatters the windows. $10,000. She pulls out stack after stack of crisp $100 bills, waving them in the air like flags of victory. "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, Jess, look at this money." "I see it, Tiff." "See it, look at it, 10,000 actual dollars, fresh hundreds." She turns to Derek, her eyes wild with triumph. "Have you ever seen this much money in your entire life? Have you, with your little delivery job, ever held this much cash?" "Please just sign the receipt," Derek says quietly. Sign, I'll sign whatever you want. I'll sign 10 documents, I'll sign 100. Do you understand what this means? This man is serious about me. This is just a gift, Jess, just a random Tuesday gift. Can you imagine what he'll do for my birthday, for Christmas?" She continues her celebration, dancing around her living room, counting and recounting the money. Taking selfies with the cash fanned out for her Instagram story. Jessica tries to smile, tries to share her friend's joy, but something feels wrong, very wrong. "You know what?" Tiffany suddenly stops dancing and turns to Derek with a wicked smile. "I want you to see this, really see it. Come closer." "Tiffany," Jessica starts. "No, Jess, let me finish. Derek, come here and look at this money. I want you to understand what you lost. I want you to see what happens when a woman refuses to settle. This money right here, this is just the beginning. And you're going to deliver every single gift he sends me. You're going to watch me rise while you stay exactly where you are. Can you just sign so I can go?" Derek's voice carries an edge now. "Oh, you want to leave? You can't handle seeing what a real man provides. Is that it?" She fans herself with the bills. "You want me to sign your little paper? Fine, let me just." And then she does something that makes Jessica gasp out loud. Tiffany takes the receipt, looks Derek dead in the eye, and tears it into pieces. "Oops," she says with mock innocence. "My hand slipped. Guess you'll have to go back and get another one. Or better yet, tell your boss you lost it. Maybe they'll fire you, save you the embarrassment of this job." "Tiffany," Jessica steps forward. "What is wrong with you?" "Nothing's wrong with me. Everything is finally right with me. I'm done with broke dudes, done with struggles, done with waiting for things to get better." She throws the torn pieces at Derek's feet. "There's your receipt. There's your job. There's your nothing life." Derek stands perfectly still. Then slowly he speaks. "You'll need to sign. It's company policy." "Company policy?" Tiffany laughs. Fine. Let me sign your stupid paper so you can get out of my sight. Jess, hold this money for me." Jessica reluctantly takes the cash, her hands trembling slightly. "Where's the new receipt?" Tiffany demands. "Right here." Derek pulls out another form from his bag. "Good, now hold still while I wait. I'm thirsty. This excitement has me parched. Jess, get me some water." "Tiff, just sign the paper." "I said I'm thirsty. Is that a crime? Get me water." Jessica disappears into the house and returns with a glass of water. She hands it to Tiffany with visible reluctance. Thank you. Tiffany takes a long sip, then looks at Derek with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. You know what? You look hot in that uniform. Let me help you cool down. Tiffany, no, Jessica starts. But it's too late. Tiffany throws the entire glass of water directly at Derek's face, soaking him through his helmet and uniform. There, now you're refreshed. Now you can take your paper and your pathetic job and get out of my sight. She's screaming now, completely unhinged. I'm tired of seeing your face. I'm tired of your presence reminding me of the life I almost settled for. Every time you show up here with a package, you make me more grateful that I found someone better. Derek stands there, water dripping from his uniform, and for a moment, nobody speaks. Then his phone rings. He answers it, his voice still unnaturally calm. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm with her now. The delivery is complete. Understood. He hangs up and looks at Tiffany. Your man wants to speak with you. He's calling you now. He is. Tiffany's rage instantly transforms into excited anticipation. She grabs her phone just as it starts ringing. Baby, hi baby. Hello, beautiful. Did you get my gift? Did I get it? Babe, I'm in shock. $10,000. You're too good to me. You deserve it all and more. Actually, I'm glad you like it because I have something to tell you. What is it, baby? Tiffany's practically purring into the phone. I'm here. What, where? Turn around. Tiffany spins around, her eyes scanning the street, looking for a Mercedes, a BMW, maybe even a Tesla. She's looking for a man in a tailored suit, someone who matches the voice she's been falling in love with. And then Derek reaches up and removes his helmet. Surprise, beautiful. The phone drops from Tiffany's hand, clattering on the concrete. Her mouth opens and closes, but no sound comes out. Jessica's hand flies to cover her own mouth, her eyes wide with shock. No, Tiffany finally whispers. No, 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 this is a joke. This is some sick joke. Derek, no, the man she now realizes is someone else entirely, pulls off his delivery uniform to reveal an expensive Tom Ford suit underneath. He straightens his Hermes tie and smiles, but there's no warmth in it. It's me, Tiffany, Marcus Wellington, the man you've been talking to for the past 3 weeks, the man who's been sending you gifts, the man you were ready to leave everything for, he pauses, and also the man you've been dating for 3 years. Derek is my middle name. I go by my middle name because I never wanted people to know about my family's money. But you're a delivery rider, you're broke, you're a multimillionaire, Marcus finishes for her. Yes, I am. I own the delivery company, Tiffany. I own 12 other businesses too. That steakhouse chain you love, mine. That boutique you're always shopping at, also mine. The luxury condos going up downtown, mine as well. My grandfather built Wellington Industries. I inherited it all when I turned 25. Tiffany's legs seem to give out. She stumbles backward, catching herself on the wall. I don't understand. Why would you? Why would I pretend to be struggling? Marcus's voice is cold now, clinical. Because I needed to know. 3 years we've been together, and I kept waiting for you to love me for who I am, not what I have. But you kept pushing, kept complaining, kept comparing me to other guys. So I decided to test you. Test me? Tiffany's voice is small now, childlike. I created a profile on Instagram. I sent you DMs as a wealthy stranger. I sent you gifts using my own company. And I watched you, Tiffany. I watched you fall in love with money while humiliating the man you claimed to love. He takes a step closer. Do you know what that feels like? To hear the woman you love call you useless, to have water thrown in your face, to be told you're nothing while you're literally standing there giving her everything she asked for. Tears start streaming down Tiffany's face. Marcus, I didn't know. If I had known. If you had known, you would have treated me differently because of my money. Don't you see? That's exactly the problem. He turns to Jessica. You, on the other hand, showed me something important. You were uncomfortable with how she treated me. You told her she was wrong. You saw a human being, not a status symbol. Jessica shakes her head, still in shock. It wasn't right. What she was doing wasn't right. Marcus nods and pulls out an envelope from his jacket. This is for you, $20,000. Consider it a thank you for being a good person, for standing up for what's right, even when it's your friend you're standing up to. I can't accept that, Jessica says immediately. You can and you will. Use it for your student loans. I know you've been struggling with them. He places the envelope in her trembling hands. Good people deserve good things. He turns back to Tiffany, who has collapsed to her knees now, sobbing uncontrollably. Marcus, please forgive me. I love you. I've always loved you. I was confused. I was stupid. Please don't leave me. You love me. His laugh is bitter. You love my money, Tiffany. You proved that conclusively. You were willing to leave a man you claimed to have loved for 3 years for a complete stranger who sent you some gifts. You humiliated me, disrespected me, threw water in my face, all because you thought I was beneath you. I'll change. I swear I'll change. Just give me another chance. Another chance to do what? To love me when you think I'm rich. That's not love, Tiffany. That's opportunism. He starts walking toward a sleek black Bentley parked down the street. Everything I gave you, I'm taking back. The wigs, the money, all of it. You don't deserve gifts given under false pretenses any more than I deserved the treatment you gave me. Please, Tiffany scrambles to her feet, running after him. I made a mistake. One mistake. Don't throw away 3 years over one mistake. Marcus stops and turns to face her one last time. One mistake? Tiffany, this wasn't one mistake. This was weeks of you showing me exactly who you are when you think nobody important is watching. You treated someone you thought was beneath you like dirt. You celebrated my poverty. You mocked my struggles. You threw water in my face and laughed about it. I didn't know it was you. Exactly, his voice rises for the first time, emotion finally breaking through. You didn't know it was me, so you thought it was okay. You thought it was acceptable to treat another human being that way because you believed they were poor and you were about to be rich. Do you understand how that makes me feel? The woman I loved, the woman I was planning to marry, would treat people like that. The word marry makes Tiffany's crying intensify. You were going to marry me. I had the ring picked out. I was waiting for the right moment. He pulls out a small Tiffany & Co. box from his pocket and opens it. Inside is a stunning 5-carat diamond ring that catches the afternoon sun and throws rainbows across Tiffany's tear-stained face. This was supposed to be yours, but I can't marry someone who only loves me when they think I'm rich. I can't build a life with someone who measures a person's worth by their bank account. I can't trust someone who would betray 3 years of history for some hair and cash. I'll give everything back. I'll prove to you that I love you for you. You can't give back what you've already taken, Tiffany. You've taken my trust. You've taken my respect. You've taken the future I imagined with you. Those things can't be returned. He gets into his vehicle, and Tiffany clings to the door, sobbing. Please, Marcus, please don't do this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I believe you're sorry. Sorry you got caught. Sorry you lost access to what you now know I have. But are you sorry for who you became? Are you sorry for the cruelty? I don't think you are. I think you're just sorry that your plan didn't work. He gently removes her hands from his car door and closes it. Through the tinted window, he looks at her one last time. Goodbye, Tiffany. I hope you find what you're looking for. Just know that when you do, make sure they never see who you really are, because if they do, they'll leave too. The Bentley pulls away, leaving Tiffany collapsed in the driveway. Her dreams shattered around her like the receipt she tore up just minutes before. Jessica stands nearby, still holding the envelope, tears running down her own face. She walks over to her friend and kneels beside her. Devil. Don't, Tiffany whispers. Just don't. You were right. You were right about everything and I didn't listen. What are you going to do now? I don't know. I've lost everything. I've lost the only man who ever really loved me because I was too blind to see what I had. Jessica helps her friend to her feet. Come on, let's go inside. As they walk back toward the house, Tiffany stops and looks at the wigs still sitting on the table, the symbols of her greed and downfall. He gave me everything I said I wanted, she says quietly, and I threw away everything I actually needed. Days turn into weeks, and Tiffany tries repeatedly to contact Marcus. Her calls go to voicemail, her texts go unanswered, her letters are returned unopened. She even tries showing up at Wellington Industries headquarters, but security won't let her past the lobby. She sees updates about him on social media, pictures from charity galas at the Met and business conferences in Silicon Valley. In some photos, he's smiling, looking genuinely happy in a way she realizes now that she never saw during their relationship. Because he was always worried about her, always stressed about meeting her expectations, always trying to prove himself worthy of her love. One evening, Jessica visits and finds Tiffany staring at old photos on her phone, pictures from their early days together, back when she actually seemed happy with simple things. Movie nights at home, walks in Central Park, coffee dates at small cafes. "You're torturing yourself," Jessica says gently. "I deserve it." "Maybe, but it's not helping you move forward." "How do I move forward from this, Jess? How do I live with knowing that I had everything and I destroyed it with my own hands?" Tiffany's voice breaks. "He was going to marry me. He had a Tiffany ring. He was planning our future while I was planning to leave him for a stranger with money. You made a terrible mistake." "A mistake," Tiffany laughs bitterly. "A mistake is forgetting someone's birthday. A mistake is saying the wrong thing in a fight. What I did was intentional cruelty. I knew I was hurting him and I enjoyed it. I wanted him to feel small because it made me feel big." Jessica sits beside her friend. "So what are you going to do? Spend the rest of your life punishing yourself?" "What else can I do? He won't talk to me. He won't see me. It's over." "Then maybe it's time to focus on becoming the person who would deserve a second chance. Not for him, but for yourself. Because Tiff, the person you became in those moments, that wasn't you. That was some twisted version of you that Instagram and influencer culture and material obsession created." Tiffany wipes her eyes. "I see it now. I see all the posts about relationship goals and luxury lifestyle and boss babe energy, and I realize how empty it all is. I wanted to be that girl so badly that I forgot how to be a good person." "It's not too late to change. It's too late for us, for me and Marcus." "Maybe," Jessica admits, "but it's not too late for you to learn from this. It's not too late to treat people better, to value character over cash, to understand that the person who loves you when they think you have nothing is worth more than everyone who would love you for having everything." Months pass. Tiffany gets a new job at a nonprofit, working with underprivileged youth in Brooklyn. It pays a fraction of what she used to make as a marketing consultant, but it feels more honest. She volunteers at a homeless shelter in Queens on weekends. She deletes her Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter accounts and focuses on rebuilding her character instead of her image. She stops buying designer clothes and starts saving money. She stops comparing herself to others and starts working on herself. She stops measuring people by what they have and starts valuing them for who they are. She never forgets Marcus, but she learns to live with the loss. She learns that some lessons cost everything to learn, and the only thing worse than the price is refusing to learn the lesson. One day, while volunteering at the shelter, serving Thanksgiving dinner to families in need, she looks up to find Jessica smiling at her. "What?" Tiffany asks. "Nothing, just, I'm proud of you, you've really changed." Had to, hitting rock bottom has a way of teaching you what matters. "Any regrets?" Tiffany thinks about the question seriously, every single day, but regret can either destroy you or rebuild you. I'm choosing rebuild. As she returns to serving food to those less fortunate, she thinks about a man who once loved her enough to test her, to give her a chance to show her true character. She failed that test spectacularly. But in failing it, she finally learned what it means to pass the only test that really matters. Being a good person, even when nobody's watching, even when there's nothing to gain, even when the person in front of you can't do anything for you. It's a lesson that cost her everything. But perhaps in losing everything, she finally found something worth keeping, herself. The real her. Not the Instagram version, not the gold-digging version, not the cruel version that measured people by their bank accounts. Just Tiffany, flawed and broken and slowly healing, trying to become the kind of person who would deserve a love like the one she threw away. 1 year passes since that fateful day. Tiffany has completely transformed her life. She's moved to a smaller apartment in Queens, drives a used Honda Civic instead of leasing a luxury car, and found genuine fulfillment in helping others instead of chasing status symbols. Jessica has become more than a friend. She's become Tiffany's accountability partner, the person who keeps her grounded when old habits try to creep back in. It's a cold December evening when Tiffany is leaving the shelter after serving dinner. She's bundled up in a simple coat from Target, nothing like the Canada Goose jacket she used to insist was essential. As she's walking to her car, she sees a familiar Bentley parked across the street. Her heart stops. The driver's door opens and Marcus steps out. He's wearing a casual sweater and jeans, looking more relaxed than she ever saw him during their relationship. For a moment, they just stare at each other across the street. Finally, Marcus crosses over to her. "Hey," he says simply. "Hey," Tiffany's voice is barely a whisper. "What are you doing here?" "I've been watching you, not in a creepy way," he adds quickly. "Jessica kept me updated. She told me about the changes you've made, the work you're doing here. I wanted to see for myself." "Why?" "Because part of me wanted to believe that the woman I fell in love with was still in there somewhere. That maybe she just got lost for a while." Tiffany feels tears forming but blinks them back. "I did get lost, completely lost, and I don't blame you for leaving. I would have left me too." "I've been doing some thinking too," Marcus says, his breath forming clouds in the cold air. "About how I handled things. Maybe I should have just been honest with you from the beginning about who I was. Maybe hiding my wealth created the very problem I was trying to avoid." "No," Tiffany shakes her head firmly. "Don't do that. Don't take responsibility for my actions. You gave me every opportunity to be a good person, and I chose to be cruel instead. That's on me, not you." Marcus looks surprised. "That's not what I expected you to say." "A year ago, I would have jumped on any excuse to shift the blame, but I've learned that accountability is the first step to actually changing." She pulls her thin coat tighter against the wind. "I don't expect forgiveness, Marcus. I don't even deserve it. But I want you to know that losing you was the worst thing that ever happened to me, and also the best thing, because it forced me to look in the mirror and hate what I saw, and that hatred became the fuel to change." "Jessica said you deleted all your social media." "Didn't need it anymore. Wasn't trying to impress anyone or prove anything. Turns out life is a lot better when you're living it instead of performing it." Marcus smiles slightly. "I wouldn't know, still have mine, comes with the business territory." "How's the empire?" Tiffany asks, and there's no bitterness in her voice, just genuine curiosity. "Growing, exhausting, lonely sometimes." He pauses. "I dated a few people this year, women who knew exactly who I was from day one, women who were impressed by the cars and the penthouses and the lifestyle. And I missed the girl who was happy watching Netflix with me, eating pizza from the box, arguing about whether pineapple belongs on pizza." Tiffany laughs, a real laugh, the first one she's had in months. "It doesn't, by the way. I was wrong about that too." They stand in comfortable silence for a moment, watching their breath in the cold air. "I'm not here to get back together," Marcus says finally. "I want to be clear about that. I don't know if we can ever get back what we had." "I understand. But maybe we could grab coffee sometime. As friends, I'd like to get to know this version of you, the one Jessica keeps telling me about." Tiffany feels hope flutter in her chest, but quickly tempers it. "I'd like that. But Marcus, I need you to know something. Even if we never get back together, even if this is just coffee and nothing more, you changed my life. Losing you broke me, but it also rebuilt me into someone I actually like. So thank you." "You did the work, Tiffany. I just provided the motivation." "The world's most expensive motivation." She smiles sadly. $10,000 and a Bentley exit. "Worth every penny if it helped you find yourself." He pulls out his phone. "Can I have your number? Your old one doesn't work anymore. Changed it, fresh start. She recites the new number and he saves it. I'll text you, he promises. We'll figure out a time for that coffee. Okay. He starts to walk back to his car, then turns around. Tiffany. Yes. That guy you were dating, the delivery rider, I liked him. He was genuine, hardworking, and he loved you with everything he had. If you ever meet someone like that again, don't let them go. I won't, she says softly, but I think I already met him. I just hope someday he can forgive me enough to let me prove I've changed. Marcus doesn't respond, but something flickers in his eyes. Not quite forgiveness, not quite closure, but maybe, just maybe, the smallest possibility of hope. He drives away, and Tiffany stands in the cold December night, watching the taillights disappear. She doesn't know if they'll ever be together again. She doesn't know if one coffee will lead to two, or if two will lead to rebuilding what they lost. But she knows one thing for certain. Whether Marcus Wellington ever loves her again or not, she'll never stop being grateful for the lesson he taught her. Some people come into your life to stay forever. Others come to teach you something so important that losing them becomes the price of learning it. Marcus was her teacher, her test, and her wake-up call all rolled into one. And whether or not she ever gets another chance with him, she'll spend the rest of her life being worthy of the chance she threw away. Because that's what real change looks like. Not changing to get someone back, but changing because you finally understand that the person you were wasn't someone you should have been in the first place. 3 days later, her phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Coffee on Saturday. There's a small place in the village I like, nothing fancy, just good coffee and conversation. M. Tiffany stares at the message for a long time. Her first instinct is to say yes immediately, to jump at the chance, to see this as the beginning of getting him back. But then she remembers who she used to be and who she's trying to become. She types back, I'd love to, but I'm paying for my own coffee, and I'm coming because I want to know how you're doing, not because I expect anything. Is that okay? The response comes quickly, that's more than okay, that's exactly why I asked, see you Saturday at 2. Tiffany sets down her phone and looks around her small apartment. It's a far cry from the luxury condo she used to dream about. The furniture is from IKEA. The decorations are from Home Goods. There's no designer anything in sight. But it's hers, earned with her own money, filled with her own accomplishments, clean of the toxicity that used to define her life. Jessica calls that evening, so I heard Marcus reached out. You knew. He asked me if I thought it was a good idea. I told him it was his call, but that you're not the same person you were. Am I though? Tiffany asks honestly, or am I just better at hiding it? That's the question you ask yourself every single day for the rest of your life, Jessica says wisely, and the fact that you're asking it means you're probably going to be okay. Saturday comes. Tiffany deliberately wears jeans and a simple sweater, no designer labels, no trying to impress. She shows up at the cafe exactly on time, not fashionably late like she used to do to seem important. Marcus is already there, sitting at a corner table with 2 menus. He stands when she approaches, and for a second, they're both awkward, unsure if they should hug or shake hands or just sit down. They settle on a brief, friendly hug. You look good, he says. Thanks, so do you. And he does, relaxed, unburdened, like the weight of pretending to be someone else has finally lifted. They order coffee. She gets a regular latte, nothing fancy, and insists on paying for it herself despite his protests. The barista who takes their order has no idea she's watching a billionaire and his ex-girlfriend navigate the minefield of their past. They talk for 2 hours, not about the past, not about what went wrong, but about what they're doing now. Marcus tells her about expanding his business into sustainable energy. Tiffany tells him about the kids at the shelter, about the teenage girl she's mentoring who reminds her of herself, bright, ambitious, but at risk of letting material desires corrupt her values. I told her about us, Tiffany admits. Not the details, but the lesson. I told her I once loved someone genuinely, but I destroyed it because I loved the idea of wealth more, and that I'd give anything to go back and make different choices. What did she say? She asked if you ever forgave me. Marcus takes a sip of his coffee. What did you tell her? I told her that forgiveness isn't something you can demand or deserve. It's a gift someone gives you when they're ready, and that even if you never forgave me, the lesson was still worth learning. That's a good answer. Did I get it right? Tiffany asks quietly. Have you forgiven me? Marcus is quiet for a long moment. I'm working on it. Some days are easier than others. I see you doing the work, making real changes, and I think maybe I judged you for being human. We all have darkness in us. You just happen to have yours exposed in the worst possible way. I don't think that's fair to you, Tiffany counters. You shouldn't have to forgive someone just because they finally started acting like a decent person. The bar shouldn't be that low. Maybe not, but holding onto anger doesn't hurt you, it hurts me, so I'm forgiving you as much for my peace as for yours. They finish their coffee. Marcus walks her to her car. The used Honda looks comically out of place next to his Bentley parked a few spots down. Can we do this again? He asks. Coffee. Yeah, or maybe dinner, something casual. I'm not making any promises about where this goes, Tiffany, but I'd like to keep getting to know this version of you. I'd like that too, and Marcus, I'm not making promises either, but I want you to know that whether we end up together or just become friends, I'll always be grateful for this chance. Not the chance to get you back, but the chance to show you that I learned something from losing you. He smiles, and it reaches his eyes this time. That's a good place to start. Over the next 6 months, they meet regularly. Sometimes for coffee, sometimes for walks through Central Park, once for a Knicks game where they sat in regular seats, not the luxury box he could have easily afforded. Tiffany never asks for anything, never hints at wanting more than friendship, never tries to angle her way back into his life through manipulation or strategy. She simply shows up as herself, the real her, the one who finally figured out that being genuine is more valuable than being impressive. Jessica watches the slow rebuilding with cautious optimism. You know he's falling for you again, right? Maybe, Tiffany admits, but this time I'm not counting on it. This time I'm just grateful for whatever he's willing to give. That's growth. That's desperation teaching you not to be greedy. One evening in late summer, Marcus invites Tiffany to a charity gala his company is hosting. It's black tie, very fancy, lots of people from my world. I'd understand if you didn't want to come. Are you asking me as a friend or as a date? What's the difference? A friend would be happy for you to network and mingle while I grab shrimp cocktail and judge people's fashion choices. A date would expect your attention and get jealous when other women talk to you. Marcus laughs. Let's say friend then, I like your version better. Tiffany goes to the gala in a dress from Rent the Runway, not bought, because spending thousands on a dress you wear once still seems wasteful to her now. She watches Marcus work the room, charming donors and partners, being the public face of his empire. Several women approach him throughout the night, women in expensive gowns with practiced smiles and strategic questions about his businesses. Tiffany recognizes the look in their eyes because it used to be her look, calculating, ambitious, hunting. She feels no jealousy, only a strange sense of gratitude that she's no longer that person. Near the end of the night, Marcus finds her on the balcony, looking out over the Manhattan skyline. Hiding, he asks. Breathing, it's beautiful out here, but intense in there. Welcome to my world. This is what it's like when everyone knows you have money. How do you stand it? Everyone wanting something from you, seeing dollar signs instead of a person. I mostly don't, he admits, leaning against the railing beside her. That's why I tested you. I was desperate to find someone who wanted me, not my money. And when I thought I found that in you, when you loved me as Derek the delivery guy, I was going to reveal everything and surprise you with this whole world. But I failed the test. You did spectacularly, he pauses. But you know what's interesting? Watching you tonight, seeing how you interact with people now, I realize something. The woman I fell in love with 3 years ago was always in there. She just got lost for a while in the noise of social media and comparison culture. Are you saying I passed the retest? I'm saying there is no test anymore. I'm just saying that the person standing next to me right now is someone I want to keep knowing, maybe more than knowing. Tiffany's heart races, but she keeps her voice steady. Marcus, I need you to be sure, because if we do this again, if we try this for real, I need you to trust that I've changed, and I need to trust that you won't hold my past over me every time we disagree. That's fair. And I need you to know that even if you bought me a mansion tomorrow, I'd still want to volunteer at that shelter. I'd still want to drive my Honda. I'd still want to live a life that means something beyond Instagram posts and designer labels. That's all I ever wanted for us, Marcus says softly, a life that meant something real. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a familiar box, the Tiffany & Co. ring box from a year ago. Tiffany's breath catches. Marcus. I'm not proposing, he says quickly. Not yet, maybe not for a while, we have a lot to rebuild, but I want you to know that I kept this. Even after everything, even when I was dating other people, I couldn't bring myself to return it, because somewhere deep down, I hoped that maybe someday you'd become the woman I always believed you could be. I'm trying every day. I know, and that's why I think we might actually have a shot this time. He puts the box back in his pocket. But first, we date. Real dating. No tests, no games, no hiding. Just two people figuring out if they can build something together. I'd like that. Good, because I'd like to kiss you now, if that's okay. Tiffany smiles. That's definitely okay. They kiss on the balcony overlooking Manhattan, and it feels different from every kiss they shared before. It feels earned. It feels real. It feels like a second chance that neither of them takes for granted. Because they both know the truth now, love isn't about what someone can give you. It's about who someone helps you become. Marcus helped Tiffany become someone she could be proud of, and in doing so, he became someone she could love with a pure heart instead of a greedy one. Whether their story ends in marriage or simply a beautiful friendship, they've both already won. They've learned that the greatest wealth isn't in your bank account, it's in your character. And character, unlike money, can't be faked, inherited, or bought. It can only be built. One choice at a time. One humble moment at a time. One lesson learned the hard way at a time. In the end, Tiffany learned that the most valuable thing a person can possess isn't wealth or status or designer clothes. It's the ability to look in the mirror and respect the person staring back. She lost everything to learn that lesson, but in losing everything, she gained the one thing money can never buy, genuine self-worth. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, you get a second chance with the person who loved you enough to teach you that lesson in the first place. Not because you deserve it, but because grace doesn't require deserving, it only requires growth.